Hello, welcome to another episode of MT Talk during my daily morning 90 minutes walk in this empty space. This empty space has actually grown onto me. I feel far more emptiness in this space than any other space. I wonder when the lockdown restrictions are no longer in place, if I'll enjoy going and doing my empty talk somewhere else, but I'll have to adapt to it. Anyway, so today I wanted to share a contemplative insight on how past tendencies can be a hindrance in achieving our future goals, and also add a subtle insight on how, other than just awareness and getting trapped in tendencies, past tendencies are not just the only reasons that hold us back, but there's something more that we can do to accomplish our future goals. So I just wanted to touch upon that a little bit and combine the awareness aspect and the neurological, physiological aspects of human body-mind mechanism. So let's see. I'm going to attempt to talk about this very complex topic and try to make it simple and short. We'll see how it turns out. So all of us have goals, and we try to make goals and New Year resolutions. You know how that works. We start off with a lot of enthusiasm, and we genuinely mean to accomplish those goals, but somehow along the way something happens and things just fizzle out. We really don't stay true to our commitments about achieving those goals. Now, some of the reasons why we don't do that is past tendencies, where you kind of fall back into the trap of, oh, I've always been a procrastinator. I've always been someone that starts something but never finishes it. It's too difficult for me. Consistency is not my trait. Oh, it is so tiring. I maybe was not reasonable in deciding this goal. So many things, right? These are the things, the thoughts that come from the past tendencies, past experiences, what's in your memory bank. So you just don't get started, right? So we need to break those past tendencies, and a principle of neuroplasticity may really help in this case. So what happens is, let's say you have a goal of starting daily walk and walking 5,000 steps a day, 60 minutes a day, every morning starting the 1st of January. So you start off and then you give up, and then you realize you cannot do it. So instead of just taking on a big goal and making a radical shift from 500 steps the previous day to 5,000 steps the next day, here is what you should do. You should just start off with, you know what, can I take 100 steps today? Go do it. If you can do it, just do it. Take 100 steps. And if you feel like stopping, stop. If you feel like continuing, continue. But start. So what happens here is, the brain in the past was fixated that, 5,000 steps is too much, and therefore you never get even started. But when you say 100 steps, it's doable, it's easy. You don't even realize when you finished it. But doing that 100 steps, getting over that blockage, changes something in your brain. It creates a new neural path. That's how our brains now start to create a new path, because that's how neuroelasticity works. You have replaced the brain's conditioning of staying fixated in past programming. You've broken it. At least you have broken it. It's elastic. It's in nature. It's plastic. It expands. So you've created a new neural path, and you've got yourself started. Next day, try to stretch it by not too much, 200, and then 500. And I'm sure with this new neuroelasticity that's been applied into your brain's past conditioning, will certainly pave way for you to be successful, relatively more successful in accomplishing that goal. Now apply that same principle to all the other goals in your life. You don't want to be world's greatest pianist, or world's greatest bodybuilder, or the world's richest man, or the CEO of a 1,000 people company overnight. So it's good to have those goals, but don't be irrational. Break your minds, your mind's past tendencies and your brain's past neural path, neural programming. So do all of that. And then here is one more thing you should do to continue on that path is, this is a very subtle, a very insightful information. If you could take this and apply it. Every time we get something exciting in our life, we feel so enthusiastic, so energized. We feel like just going ahead and getting started. So that's what typically happens with New Year resolutions. We genuinely are excited, we are enthusiastic, but along the way, the reason why it fizzles out is the initial adrenaline rush that you feel, the chemical that gets released in the brain, that adrenaline rush is not enough to take that excitement beyond the mind and brain. It has to go beyond the mind and brain into the body for it to take action. Only when the body gets up and takes action, then creation happens, then results come. That's when you see the change, that's when you see things created. But because actions don't happen, none of that leaves the brain and the mind. Therefore, it just stays in the mental realm, never manifests in the physical realm. So what needs to happen is, as adrenaline is released with the thought, you need to have dopamine released in your brain. Dopamine is another chemical which actually is a motivation hormone, basically triggers a signal from your brain and pushes your body to take action. And that is the differentiator. Why we feel so excited about many things, but we never get started, and therefore we never do anything about it, right? So how do you release that dopamine? Here is a simple thing. I mean, this what I'm sharing, I do a very long 2-hour webinar, go into a lot of details, but I'm going to share this insight and see if you can process it. So dopamine is released when you feel the sense of accomplishment. So for example, if you have this dream of starting a company of your own and having all the systems, the teams, the processes, the revenue, the market, everything in place, and you're going to get started and feel assured that this is going to be a great success, right? If that's your goal, to see a day like that coming, here is what you should do. Visualize, imagine, emotionalize that day has already arrived and that day is now. Feel how you would feel. Act as if that has happened. Now, act as if is a very powerful technique. You have to visualize, emotionalize, imagine as if it has already happened. Right now, you feel as if you would feel the feelings that you would feel as if that dream is realized. So put yourself into the future and see that dream realized and see what comes. When that happens, the brain releases dopamine. It pushes you to get up what you're doing, leave everything, and take action to realize that feeling, to realize that vision. You're programming your subconscious mind at that time, and then subconscious mind, by virtue, does not differentiate between real and imaginary. So whatever you're imagining, it wants to bring that in reality. So the visualization, emotionalization, imagination is to release the dopamine, which is the missing element which stops us from taking action. So therefore, not feeling just excited in the mind and energy in the body, you have to release the dopamine to get it started. Actions, that's the only way you'll get results, right? So don't let your past tendencies hold you back from getting started and creating a goal. And once you have a goal, release dopamine along with the adrenaline rush to transform the vision in the mind to the reality on the ground. So a combination of awareness at a mind and brain and heart level and the physiological, neurological processes combined is going to bring that positive change, and your goals will be accomplished. So hopefully this helps, and this is my contemplative insight for today, and I'll see you in another empty talk another day. Take care, stay blessed, love and peace. Bye.